everybody. Happy Thursday. Love that music. Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to my show, Lauren's Tomato Awesome Sauce. I come every Thursday at this time to talk to you about 10 ish varieties. I put a spotlight on 10 ish varieties. And today I think it actually is 10. I'm going to try to keep this one a little shorter than usual. We'll see how that goes. But I'd like to, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But anyway, I spotlight varieties of tomatoes that I'm obsessed with each week in the hopes that I can get you guys excited about a variety, 10 varieties, however many cultivars of tomatoes, with all the stories that are behind them and the breeder. We put a high importance on breeders and the stories and the origin here. And we have a lot of fun doing it. If you've grown something before, if you're looking to grow something that I'm showing, please feel free to put it in the comments. If it's your first time watching, I recommend that you, hi there, first of all, happy to have you. I would recommend you grab a notebook and a pen. So if you find something you like, you can write it down and you can either search for it on Google, or if you're a member of our group, TLC or Tomato Lovers Collective, we have each Saturday you can put up to 5 varieties you're looking for, and then we have an ongoing most wanted post where you can always have one up there. So always can't hurt to write it down. Some of the things I talk about are not easy to find, but you never know. Somebody in the group may have it and can gift it to you. So today's episode, it's the first Thursday of the month. And so that means it's sponsored by our friends at Inspired Garden Life. They made my t-shirt. This says love from faithful hearts. Come lasting. How can I not read this? Lasting, what does that say? Hands. I'm just out of it today. Forgive me. It is hands, I believe. Sorry about that. They make the most glorious t-shirts. They keep coming out with all of these new collections. This is part of their new faith and gardening creations. I wore this one actually to the seed swap tomato tasting back in September. This was the first one I got. I have another one that's like rooted in love, rooted in faith, something like that. So I love them. Make sure you check them out if you haven't yet. Inspired Garden Life. Let me get the link. Here they are. It is run by Tim and Darylyn, the sweetest people on the face of the planet. By this point, many of you have ordered or received free t-shirts from them, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute too, where you know that they are just the most wonderful people. So put in hashtag tomato during the show today. You only need to do it once, but you can win. They're giving away 5 free t-shirts and 3 $25 gift cards to Inspired Garden Life. So you only need to put it in once, hashtag tomato. Oops, I forgot Instagram again. What a surprise. Here we go. I was just going to say, and now I can. Oops. Hang on. If you're watching on Instagram, EV Mux, which is the platform I use, they can't pick you up, so I can't see anything that you post, anything that you comment, and they can't. My giveaway tool can't pick you up either. So bebop over to my YouTube channel, Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head, and we would love to see you win these prizes. We have an extra prize today. Let's see, how am I going to back this up? Let me start with this. So we were supposed to have a Tomato Talk Live. I do a show once a month, the first Friday of the month, with my buddy Jen Joy. I'm sure all of you know her. She's YouTube famous tomato queen. And we were supposed to have a show tomorrow night, and I'm having to cancel the show, of course, with Jen's consideration. So this bops in to why I'm super sad this week. I'll show you a picture. Here she is. So Rory the Wonder Cat has been in our lives, the light of our lives, for 8 years. She's young. And the past 2 weeks, she had been losing weight and just not acting like herself. She's a real cuddly girl. So I took her to the vet on Monday, and it turns out she has lymphoma. And she's got masses throughout her little body. So we're not going to have her much longer, and that's a rough pill to swallow. She is our real princess. I often joke she's my favorite child. Um, the one nice thing though, she's sitting here with me right now, like she has not been herself the last couple days. I'm starting to realize a lot of that was the sedative they gave her so they could do all the blood work. And she's coming out of that. She even took me to bed last night, and I just bawled. So my son Jake is coming home for the weekend. He arrives tomorrow to say goodbye, and so we're not going to do a show, obviously. Thank you, Jen, for understanding. If you could keep us, if you believe in prayer, if you could keep us in your prayers, and Rory the Wonder Cat too. I'm so glad she's here with me. She'll probably start nagging me in a minute, and it will be like music to my ears. Um, she's such a sweet little thing. We just love her. So I've been very sad and very, very weepy all week, and I considered not doing a show today. And then I thought, I'll just make it shorter because I need this tomato joy with you all as much as maybe you need this show. I need you guys too. So, oh, look at our precious princess. So that picture I took just yesterday, and she's an indoor cat exclusively. And I decided, well, if she's going, I'm going to put her out in the grass. So we went out in the grass, and oh gosh, she was so happy in her little mind. She's probably like, finally, she's crunching through the fall leaves and all of that. Um, Gosh, she's actually taking a little bath right now too. It's a really good sign. I mean, it's not curable. The lymphoma, they do offer chemotherapy for it, but it really just it can sometimes buy them a little bit more time. So we're going to have to see what our decision is. We just don't want her to suffer, and we feel strongly about that. So we'll see. I'm glad Jake gets to come home tomorrow. So that explains why we're not doing Tomato Talk Live tomorrow, and why my eyes look like I've been beaten up by Rocky Balboa, because I've been crying all week. But boy, I'm so happy she's sitting here next to me. Right, Warzy? Will you let me pick you up? I doubt she will, but hang on. Hi, baby girl. Oh, that's so nice. Here she is. Here's our girl. There she is. It's not that she doesn't let me pick her up. She's very cuddly that way. But usually when I'm on a show, she's down here because she wants me to carry her up to her food to put something in it. Say hi, Roars. It's our baby. I love you. Stay here. Just seeing her do stairs is so wonderful. Anyway, so that's my sadness. But I do have happiness with tomatoes. So we've got Inspired Garden Life. I talked about that. The other prize we have, and I don't normally like to, this is how I started. I don't like to put other prizes in with the Inspired Garden Life week. But this next one by Robin Moulton was supposed to be one of the prizes on our show tomorrow night for Tomato Talk Live. And there's a reason why I didn't want to prolong it too much. And that is because she created an advent calendar. Let me get you a, oop, not that. Nope, not that. And not that. Where'd it go? No. No, must be this one. Here we go. Okay, that's Inspired Garden Life. I have to say something else about them too. So this is the advent calendar, tomato seed advent calendar that Robin created, and she wanted to give it away to our group. Robin, I think I saw you in the comments, so I'm glad you're here. It is 25, what did she say? 25 packets of 5 seeds each. She grew them all herself, open pollinated. And isn't that beautiful? So, so kind. So thank you, Robin. So one person's going to win the advent calendar. She's going up the stairs. She's going very slowly, but just the fact that she's doing stairs just makes me happy. So thank you, Robin. So for the prizes today, it's 5 t-shirts, 3 gift cards, and 1 advent calendar. Like I said, I wouldn't normally have put another prize in with Inspired Garden Life Week, but because she needs to get a calendar out to somebody and time's ticking into November, thought we would do it today. Who else? Let's see who we have here today. I'm forgetting a couple things. There's one thing I have to talk about, and I don't want to, so I'm procrastinating. Oh, let me get back to Inspired Garden Life for a minute. So you may have seen in the group, in Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, they put up a post earlier this morning, I believe. They're looking for people to join their design community, kind of helping them to wear their shirts and comment on them so they can um, work harder at getting good things out to you and me. You can sign up, and there's a link in the post in the group. I'm going to give you the link again right now in here. This is, I'm going to put it in the comments. And I'm going to put it in the comments in the show right now. So that is a link to fill out the form to be part of their design community. They're going to keep it going through the weekend. It's a limited offer. I'm not sure how many spots they have, but they say they're going to close the night Sunday night at midnight, or when they've got too many. So whichever one comes first. Yeah, so if you want the direct link and couldn't get it here, just go in the group. So it says receive a free shirt by joining their design community. Help shape what we create next. And this is showing their Sacred Gardens collection. Just a reminder that they always have a 20% off sale when you do TLC 20. And their fall savings is buy 2 shirts, get 5% off. Buy 4, get 10% off. Buy 6, get 15% off. But with TLC 20, you get 20% off of everything. So that's groovy. And here they are, Tim and Darylyn. Wonderful people. So happy. It was such a pleasure to be able to meet them back in September. I know they were going to watch. They couldn't tune in right away today, but I'm sure they'll be here in a minute. So type in #tomato. Okay, where were we? I guess I have to talk about that thing I don't want to talk about. Anything else? No, nothing else. Okay. I'm not going to get... Oh, Facebook's not connected. I'm procrastinating again. All right. I'm not going to get into too much detail because that's just not the way I operate. You will not find anything about this in Tomato Lovers Collective because we feel very strongly about not having any drama in the group whatsoever. There is, you may have seen going around in the tomato community that there's been issue with Luke from M.I. Gardner, who's very big on YouTube. He has been taking names of tomatoes that already exist and creating his own. He's getting a lot of misinformation out there with this 20 new and exclusive varieties he just released a couple of days ago. Many of us have been holding him to task, but in a kind, respectful way. He has now blocked and banned me and removed my comments from both my Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head account and my personal account because I just finding it hard to believe that he would know these things and still do it. He's not what you think he is. So rather than get into detail here, I just want to ask you as a consumer to do your homework. Now that he's released these varieties, there are going to be 2 a variety called Emerald City. There's a incorrect Rebel Starfighter that he doesn't have which Rebel Starfighter it is. Like, it's an entire mess, and he was given the opportunity to change it, and he didn't. So I have the receipts, as they like to say. Even though he's removed me in the comments, I have screenshots. I'm not going to share them, but if anybody wants more detail, I can give it to you. Just message me privately. I don't want to do it here, but I just want to ask you, when it comes to ordering from him, use your own judgment. I'm not going to tell you to not order from him. What I am going to tell you is I will never order from him, and we are no longer accepting any promotion of his in the group. So that's it, but you're not going to see anything else in the group about that. And I just want to clarify that this is me, Mrs. Tomato Head, not part of the group. This is me separate, but I feel like I would be remiss in not saying something. Again, if you want more specifics, I can tell you, but just be careful when it comes to him. I hate that stuff. But alas, it is true. All right, now let's get to some comments. Sherman was here first. Excited for another Awesome Sauce Thursday. This was 3 hours ago. And here's Robin, who made our advent calendar. Hey, Robin, thank you. Thanks for being here and for donating that and making that beautiful advent calendar. What else we have? Leslie's here. Hey, Leslie. And Heidi's here. Hey, Heidi. And Rowena is here. Sorry, I'm very far behind in the comments. Will I be able to make this a short episode? I do not know. We're not doing too good. I have less tomatoes to talk about, that I know. Hey, Christina. And Deborah. Hi, Deborah. And Jamie's here. Still have those weird numbers past your names on so many of you. Been cooped up in my house for several days doing homework, so I'm listening while I go for a walk. Glad you're here. And Greg is here. Hey, Greg. Drew. Hey, Drew. Happy Thursday. Hope everyone's winter grows are off to a good start. Mine are doing great. We'll have tomorrow's Friday, right? So at midnight tonight, the next Micropalooza update post in the group will go up. So I can't wait to see all your pictures. Hey, Tiffany. Nice to see you. Who else we have? Jerry's here. And Scano Angwe, glad you're here. Oh, this is something nice, and I'd rather have something nice follow up the icky stuff I just had to talk about. I got something beautiful in the mail from our friend Angwe Es just the other day, and I am wearing them. These are made from quahog shells, beautiful earrings, and it's called wampum. It says this jewelry is made from the quahog shell found along the U.S. eastern seashore, and it came with this beautiful description. It says wampum quahog jewelry. We make the seashell jewelry from the purple part of the quahog clam shell. The shell has a time-tested cultural significance to the American Indians of northeastern North America. Designs of white and purple beads are prized by the American Indian as a symbol of wealth, power. I'll take the wealth, power, and are used to sanctify their wedding vows. After Dutch, English, and French contact, the word wampum was used for both the purple and white parts of the shell in the form of tubular beads. Wampum became a medium of trade for 250 years, from 1609 to 1860. That's a long time. It was legal tender currency in many areas during this period. We continue this long tradition by making this beautiful wampum quahog jewelry for you to wear and enjoy. So I told him I was going to wear them on the show. They're very heavy, like, a seashell, but aren't they beautiful? Angwe, thank you so much. I know I told you this when I got it a couple days ago, but it's really touched my heart, and on a week where I really needed a pick-me-up. So thank you very much. We didn't know about Rosie when I got it, but they're so beautiful and such a nice, thoughtful sentiment. When you get a gift from somebody, it's got just that kind of thought behind it. It's just heartwarming, isn't it? I love it. So thank you, Angwe. I love you too. Who else we have? Teresa's here. Hey, Teresa. And Sherva's here. Hey, Sherva. And Linda's here. We are here with family. Yep, Tomato Talk with family. Hey, Sam. And Lisa's here. And Idaho Garden Girl's here. Hello, hello. As far as the seeds I owe people, I've been kicking it up lately, although I'll admit the past 3 days I haven't been doing much at all. But I will get back into it. It's just been, it's crushing, this thing with Rory. She's only 8 years old. We pamper her to death. I guess you just never know. I didn't mean to say to death. That's awful. We're devastated. Rob is devastated. We're all devastated. Hey, Kim. Happy Thursday to you. And Mary's here. And Naisha's here. And Dana Smith is here. Hey, Dana. And Lena's here. Hi, Lena. And LJ9E. Hello there. We have 73 live viewers right now. If you're just joining us, make sure you type in #tomato. We've got some great prizes. from Inspired Garden Life today, 5 t-shirts, 3 $25 gift cards, and then Robin Moulton created a homemade advent calendar with tomato seeds in it. She's already posted, I think, one, and not with tomato seeds, but Gardening Lovers Collective and Swap. Am I right, Robin? And then you did one in Pepper Lovers Collective and Swap. So this one is for tomato heads. Hi, GD. Glad you're here. And blah blah is here. Oh, I'm happy to see you too, Mary. Teresa, it does look like I got a haircut, doesn't it? I did not. I guess I'm just having a good hair day, although this thing's flopping around and bothering me. But trust me, by the end of the episode, it'll be behind my ears. In fact, I'm considering it right now. Happy to see you too. I'm glad you find the show interesting. I'm really, really glad. That's why with all this debacle with Luke from MI Gardner, that I felt like I don't do conflict ever at all. I avoid it at all costs. But, with the show that we do on Thursdays and the work I do in, the group, many of us do, educational type stuff. And we feel strongly about honoring breeders and origins and all of that. It's so much more than, well, you didn't have a trademark, so I'm taking it anyway. It's just not considerate at all. So I felt like, even though I didn't like it, I had to say something, and I did. And I was very respectful, and yet I guess he just couldn't answer. He couldn't answer, legitimate questioning because he knows what the answer is. All right, I'll stop talking about it. A lot of us have been fired up this week, that is for sure. Hey, Stephanie, nice to see you. And Anthony's here. Hey, Anthony. And Gina. Got lots of viewers today. Hey, Brandy. Looking forward to some tomato talk. Me too. I've got some real interesting ones to talk about today. Oh, Drew, this is a good idea. We need like a tomato fantasy draft for next year's top rated tomatoes. That's a good idea. I like it. Tim and Darylyn are just the cutest. I agree. And Teresa, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. I appreciate that. They do have amazing shirts and customer service. That is for sure. What a gift that we got to connect with them. Who else? I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody, but I like to get to tomatoes soon. Hey, Chantel. Nice to see you. Thank you very much, Chantel. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, we've all been through it, haven't we? I've been through it a few times, but man, she's only 8. She's only 8. We pictured her nagging us for no reason, like well into her early 20s. This is such a shock, but you just never know. And boy, they rip your heart out because they can't talk, right? But they bring so much joy to your life too. So it's worth the pain, but the pain is really very real. Many of you know this. You've had pets. Hey, Mayor from afar. Thank you. Kitties are a joy. Hi, Drew. They are. They're so funny. That's okay. Hi, Lisa. Thank you. I mean, it's not okay, but I definitely appreciate all of your well wishes. As of 2 days ago, and even yesterday, it seemed like it's like I brought her to the vet, and then she was going downhill so quickly. But then she perked up a little last night. Not saying she's cured. She doesn't have much time with us, but I didn't realize that a lot of that was the recovering from the sedative. So we just want her to be happy in her final, days. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate all your well wishes. Hey, Akelia. Thank you. I appreciate it. I wasn't sure if I told you that or not. I know you and I have talked a lot this week, but I couldn't remember if I told you about Rory the Wonder Cat or not. It's okay. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the prayers. They are our babies, our little fur babies. Mariah Lavin says, I just lost my 18-year-old kitty Princess on Saturday. Oh, gosh. I'm pretty devastated. I'm sending prayers to you, my friend. Definitely. This is agony. It's agony. Um, Resilient on repeat. We have Narnia, Grandma's pretty pink princess, and she's exclusively indoors. Do not think about carrying her anywhere near a door. She's petrified and quite content being inside. Rory was too, honestly. I mean, she wasn't an outdoor cat. We lost a cat when almost 30 years ago, when this poster was in our kitchen, as a matter of fact. He was indoor, outdoor, and he got hit by a car in front of our house, which is strange because we live on a very, we're out in the middle of nowhere, but somebody got him. And so, plus nowadays, I mean, there's barn cats and they're very useful, but most vets, for just a homeowner like us, they try to convince you to keep them inside. They have a longer life. So that's why I'm just like, she had the best food money could buy, and like we didn't give her junk. But there's I won't even get into it. There's been signs that Rob and I didn't realize until recently. Signs where we were calling her lazy and making fun of her. That was our joke with her. Like, and really, it turns out she's probably in pain. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, we can't think like that, but it's hard not to. Anyway, I love the name Narnia. Um, Thanks, Sam. Appreciate it. Tomato Joy, we all need it. That's a good t-shirt for our friends at Inspire Garden Life. Tomato Joy, we all need it underneath. I like that. Remember that, Kim. Hey, Dennis. Nice to see you. And Pretty's here. Sorry, it's hard to hear about Rory. She's still with us today. It's hard to know what we're going to do. I don't think we're going to do chemo because she's got so many masses. And knowing that it's not a cure, there's never a time where it gets rid of the lymphoma. You know, it's also very weird. So many of you are members of my other group, Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain. And every morning I put a post up. It's our people can set their daily intentions, things they intend to do during the day. And every morning I share what national days are that day. And there's a lot of silly ones. And, there's so many national, international days. Do you know that tomorrow is International or National Canine Lymphoma Awareness Day? Now, I know she's not a canine, but how crazy is that? We just found out about this on Monday. I wouldn't have known anything about lymphoma, but I guess it is pretty common in cats her age. Just awful. Hi, Barbara. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't want the whole show to be a downer, but I had to let you guys know why I'm a little out of it this week anyway. It is hard when the pets get sick, for sure. Let me scan a little, make sure I got everybody. Hey, Sharon. Nice to see you. Mary, this is a great point. Thank you. And please, if you all are chosen by Inspire Garden Life as a tester, feedback is so important. They need honest reviews, pictures, and all that good stuff. That's a great point, Mary. Thank you. They do. They do. They love giving out free t-shirts, but they really want to create the best shirts and products for all of us. So they need feedback from seed hoarders and tomato heads like us. So thank you, Mary. Yeah, it's not just a matter of getting a free t-shirt. They would like your feedback. I did it I was a tank tester. I know many of us were their tank top testers. It was great. It was great. And I got a free tank top out of it. Chantel says, just ordered 2 more shirts from them this week. I don't know that I have a bunch of creativity to add, though. I'm walking billboard for real. Love their shirts. They're also looking for stories. As part of it. I think the form says it when you go to sign the form or, sign up to do this. They're looking for, stories of how gardening helps us. Like for me, I've shared this many times, but it helps me to forget about living with chronic pain and illness. Even just briefly, gardening is such a gift to me. It puts me in a state of flow and helps me to forget. And I know many of you do it for the same reasons. Even these Thursdays, it helps to forget about it all for a while. So when you sign up, just make sure you're making not a huge commitment, but they do want your feedback. Thanks, Mary. All right, where are we? I'm going to skim ahead here unless I forgot anybody. Erin, you spoil and love on that sweet baby as much as you can. I'm glad she's having a good day today. Me too. Me too. When she brought me upstairs to bed last night, I bawled. I thought her days of going upstairs were over, and then all of a sudden she comes up, and we have this little thing we do, and she takes me to bed every night. And seeing her do the stairs was unreal. She's been doing stairs a little bit today, but all right. Brandy, I was so disappointed to see my gardener doing this. They won't get any more of my money. Agreed. I've talked to you many of you this week. Who, it's just kind of hard to believe that anybody would be that cruel, narcissistic, and uncaring about causing confusion in the tomato world, honestly. Totally. When I told Rob the other night that I was having issues with Luke Marion from MI Gardner, he looked at me like I was nuts because we used to watch videos, years ago. We used to watch his videos, and he's like the squeaky clean guy from the Midwest. And boy, like I said, I've screenshot everything that I said and he said before he banned me, but really just an eye opener. I will tell you that. Tiffany, I saw all of that, and it's so unfortunate. And Linda, I don't order from him anyway, but that is ridiculous. Yes, and I just want to remind people this is not TLC. You won't see any of us commenting about this in TLC, but you won't see any mention of his either. If anybody tries to mention it, will go to our admin assist just because we believe in integrity. I sure do, and I know you guys do too. Maybe we could please divulge in any swaps, trades, gift seeds that originally came from him so we can be informed. It's certainly, your right to ask. It won't be a problem until probably next year because people will grow them out. They'll like them. They'll save seeds and think nothing of it because most of the people don't know because he's declining, or not even declining. He's removing many of our comments. Yeah, Jamie, some of Luke's followers have found my Facebook profile and have been attacking me. There still are. Yeah, I saw on the page. It was really ugly. Good to know. Won't be ordering from him again. It's really such a shame. It didn't have to be this way at all. At all. Yeah, I thought about leaving a review the other day. I heard he also deletes negative reviews. I never order from him. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a real shame. When I heard he was, and when he said his 20 were exclusive, rare, and never before seen, that's why he's charging $4 for 10 seeds. He definitely didn't divulge that not all of them were exclusive. Not all of them were rare. He's got Brad Gates' Lucid Gem in there. He's got Indigo Pear Drops. He's got a couple of them. Cherokee Lime Stripes, a Bill Jeffers variety. He doesn't list the breeder anywhere, and he wanted his members to all think that that they were all exclusive and never before grown and seen until some of us started questioning him, and then he created a video, which he obviously knew he was lying because he was squirming. So he had to say, well, I never said they were all exclusive. He did. Aaron, I'm so disappointed in him, so disrespectful. I had no idea. Will not be purchasing from him. Yeah, I didn't want to cause any drama, you guys. This is supposed to be a happy show. But I try to think, well, he didn't care about us. And while I don't have, he's got like 1 million and something viewers, and most of them will never know. I felt like I could do my small part. Hey, Catherine Vincent, nice to see you. Thanks for the info. Yeah, sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Those are gorgeous. Oh, I'm like, what? The earrings, I know, aren't they? They feel like love. That's what they feel like. Yes, Idaho Garden Girl. I think it creates confusion because you have to figure out if it is the dwarf, etc. And he said with Emerald City that the Emerald City that is for sale is Emerald City Dwarf. And I explained to him, and I think somebody else did too, maybe Sam, that it's not called Emerald City Dwarf. Some vendors put dwarf after the name, but it is not Emerald City Dwarf. He also released one called Ruby Red Slippers, where there's already a Ruby Slippers. Again, he knew this ahead of releasing them, so it's really so sad. Lisa B. Thanks to you, Lauren, Samantha, and others for going to bat and trying to talk some sense into he who shall not be named regarding recycled variety names. That's what it is, recycled. And then the ones that he's taking the name from, it's not that variety, like the Emerald City he's got. And he said in his video, he's like, we almost called it Oz, but it really looked like Emerald City. And one of my comments to him like said, wouldn't it if you know? And he says he knew, but I'm not buying it. If you really knew, wouldn't you just say, I'd like to make mine stand out. Let's call it Oz. Yes. Yes. Oh, Kim, yeah, something was happening with the Facebook. I had to abort for some reason. Sorry about that, but I can see you on here. That's good. I think it started okay, and then it said Facebook was like giving me this abort, abort. Or not that dramatic, but ah, thanks, Akeelia. Just like the person wearing them, I feel very loved. That's for sure. Nice gift. Bye, Mary. Got to drive to pick up my son, but I will be listening. Good, good. So much for a short episode. Going on and on. Make sure you type in hashtag tomato if you haven't already. We've got Inspired Garden Life t-shirts, gift cards, and a beautiful, let me show it again for those of you who are late, the advent calendar that Robin Moulton made. She's giving one of these away. Isn't that pretty? 25 varieties, 5 seeds each. Thank you again, Robin. So definitely worth your while for either a free t-shirt, $25 gift card to Inspire Garden Life, or this advent calendar. All right, how far back am I? Hang on, let me get rid. Oh no, I can do this. Hey, Inspire Garden Life. Glad to see you, Tim and Darylyn. Two of our cats experienced this. We were also surprised at how common this is in felines. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for your kind messages, Tim and Darylyn. Rowena says, I love wearing my shirts and having people comment about them. It's great, isn't it? There's like, I swear, I have a walk-in closet. There's one section that's only their t-shirts, but they're nice too. They're really nice. You guys know they're really nice quality. They wash up, like the colors are still as brilliant. So I'm a big fan. They have long sleeve shirts now too. They've got V-necks, tanks. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Hey, Dad. Hi, Lauren and fellow tomato peeps. Nice. I should probably say this, although it shouldn't be at this point. If you still owe seeds to your team captain for our grow outs, please do so. We would like to get these out before the holidays. I got last one in today from which one? Spanish. Kentucky Appalachian, everybody's in. Still waiting on one or two from Sophia. So if you're on my teams, it's a little bit of a wait. Oh, Sam, this is nice. She was blessed with love her entire life with you all. Doesn't make it any better at all, but she knew love her entire life. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, my humble garden. Nice to see you. Hey, is Harley here today? If I don't see her commenting, I hope she's here today. Hi, Nancy. We lost our beloved, excuse me, Golden, something stuck to my mouth, in early January due to an inoperable brain tumor. We miss him every day. I bet. I'm so sorry. the pain is so bad it makes you not want to get a pet, sort of, but then not really, right? Like, she's going to be missed. She sure is. Hey, Cheryl, thank you. Thank you. I know most of you, if not all of you, can relate. Pets you've had throughout your life. Oh, that's right. Thank you, Tim and Darylyn. Missy Smith is having her surgery today. Thank you so much. Yes, we can keep her in our prayers as well. Thank you guys very much. I would have hated if I had forgotten that today. It was this morning, I think. Rowena, I haven't followed his Facebook page and his YouTube. I would have, but he banned and blocked me. I think I can still see him on YouTube. Really, I just feel like my work with him is done. He's just going to remove it anyway. And but the funny thing is, I was very respectful and just asking him questions like, what if I created a tomato? I said I was going to talk about this a lot, but here I go. What if I created a tomato that was giant and it was crimson? And I wanted to name it Giant Crimson, which, for those of you that may not know, he allegedly found this seed from like 80 years ago or something like that and brought it back out of extinction. So Giant Crimson is attributed to him and this alleged story. First of all, if I created a red tomato or a crimson tomato that was giant, the last thing on earth I would want to do is name it Giant Crimson because it's already attributed to something else. Now I hear it's not a great tomato, but that's besides the point. So I asked him, how would you feel if, or I think I said, are you okay if would you be okay if I, found a tomato and named it this? And that's when he banned and blocked me. I wasn't threatening to do that. I'm like, you'd have a okay time with this? Of course he wouldn't. Whether or not it has trademark or copyright or whatever, it's just not kind. Thank you for looking out for us. Truly love, TLC. Make sure you know, I don't want to keep saying this part, but this is me here on my YouTube channel, not TLC. We have no comment or anything on it on TLC. This is just me and my commenting. I just want to make sure you guys know we don't do drama in the group, and we feel as much as I want to, and Kina and Jen too, we won't. We stand by that. Interesting. It's not just his tomato varieties. I saw that card game also copies the name of another game, poorly researched on both fronts. I wasn't sure who would want a card game, but that's okay. Totally agree. And then he went on camera fake apologizing, but still lying. He lied about removing a member's comment, but we all know he removed it. Of course he did. The interesting thing is, and I can see it, I have an author's page for when I wrote my books, Lauren Zaleski, Gratitude Addict, Lauren Zaleski. So I could still see stuff on there, but he's left some of it up. Not a lot, but he's left, not of mine, but he's left some of it up. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Well, we're not talking about hybrids. He is taking the names of things that are already in existence and putting out new tomatoes with those same names. He released one called Rebel Starfighter. There is no single variety called Rebel Starfighter. There's Rebel Starfighter. I forget them all. There's many, right? VT16 and Kalian. I don't know them all. And I've brought this to his attention too, like, tell us which Rebel Starfighter it is, because that one is, well, I assume, who knows? No, he doesn't want to. So that is what we're in an uproar about. Make sure you guys type in hashtag tomato. I will talk about tomatoes in a minute. This has been very therapeutic for me. Jeffrey, you know me by now. You didn't miss a thing. Just me talking about Emma Gardner and about my kitty who's not doing so well. You missed Lauren's earrings. Yes. Angwei sent me these beautiful indigenous Northeast tribes wampum earrings made from quahog shell. They're nice and heavy, and they're Just beautiful. Okay. Keely, a tomato vort instead of Voldemort. Have a feeling he's probably not watching live, but I'm pretty confident he's going to be watching this at some point. Um, yeah. So, hi, Luke. We're doing our part. You didn't live up to your end of the bargain and weren't kind. You put off this whole kindness thing, and now we know. Hey, Jen's here. Love you too. Hey, Jen. Yes, Tim and Darylyn, sounds like you need Rob to build you a bigger closet. Yes, absolutely. They have the most comfortable shirts. I practically live in mine. They do. Listening while I drive home from work. Yeah, Jen has to work on Thursdays now, so she can't be with us the whole show. Darla, unsubscribed from his newsletter, and where it asked why I was doing that, I said it was because of unethical practices. I also reminded him the seeds community is tightly knit and word gets out. Nice, nice. Um, I was thinking, Linda's got "Am I Garmort?" I was thinking this is like there was a whole uproar a couple weeks ago or a couple years ago with Baker Creek. I think it was just last year actually. Baker Creek releasing the purple or trying to release the purple GMO tomato, calling it a different name, and that was like Purple Tomato Gate. This is Am I Garden Gate for sure. Yeah, he has changed, Eva, for sure. A couple other people have said the same thing. I think he's in way over his head. And look, he's got to make a living. I think he's in over his head. He's got to make a living. I don't think most people would blink twice about $4 a pack, even though it is for only 10 seeds. But just be honest about it. Don't say that they're all rare, never before seen, never grown, because they're not. Some of them maybe. I'm not so sure about that either. But just be honest. I think people would appreciate the honesty more. And I love how on the video he's talking about being transparent because I just laugh. Oh, Jen, thank you. I know you're driving. You probably can't see it, but I put up this picture of Rosie from. Oh, I think I sent it to you already. In the grass yesterday. Boy, was she happy. Um, Resilient on Repeat says for Inspired Garden Life, it states the focus group participants will be selected and notified by October 15th. I'm just since we're in November now. I knew that was going to happen at least once today. I'm not sure if they've answered yet, but I think they did extend it from my memory. What store is problematic? Am I Gardener? Am I Gardener? Anybody wants to see screenshots or anything, you can private message me. I don't want to stoop to his level, so I won't do it here. But I have all the receipts, as they say. I've got them all because I knew he'd delete them. Yes, Chantel, it's not about making a living, though. It's about mindfulness and giving credit where it's due. You can't be so big and successful that you forget to do that. Agree. Completely agree. And people, our breeders, we value them so much. They spend at least 7, 8 years breed a tomato. It's a lot of work stabilizing. I will tell you now that I'm breeding my own and my micros and all of that. It is a lot of work to stabilize. And then you get this beauty at the end of it and you give it a name. And you really should only it shouldn't have to be registered by trademark. In fact, most aren't if somebody's got probably like a sun gold would, but just for the regular, you know, small scale breeder, it doesn't make any sense. And so you go to Google to make sure the name's not taken, and then you pick a name. And that one, a couple of those have been taken for a couple of years now. So thank you, Chantel. Good point. As a Midwesterner, we no longer accept tomato wort. You know what, Luke? Since I know you're going to be watching, you do still have time to make this right. You do. I don't care that you've had the seed packages printed and this came to you as a surprise because I'm pretty sure that's the case. When Jamie Hill said that you've stolen names, your immediate response to her was, "What are you talking about?" And then you went and claimed you knew, which I don't believe for a minute. I think there's a mistake there. Just admit the mistake. Don't send out seed packages of things that are already bred and just admit your mistake. Nobody would fault you after that, but I don't think that's going to happen. Tim and Darylyn about the show close applications close on not the show the sign up to be on the design team Sunday at midnight or when the group fills up. All right, so let's move on from Mi Gardner and talk some tomatoes because I've got a couple good ones I want to share with you today. I mean, they're always good ones, aren't they? And if you're joining late, Jen and I can't do a Tomato Talk live tomorrow night because my son Jake is coming home to say goodbye to our precious little angel. He's really close with her. He took it really hard. All right, so the first one. Nope, that's Rosie, precious girl. This is not a new one to me. For me reviewing, I've been reviewing it for a couple of years now. When I was doing my, excuse me, my micro dwarf tomato project, where I attempted to grow every micro dwarf there was, and I think I did at the time. But now there's so many that come out, I haven't. What I have behind me is Tiny Totem. And it is one of my favorite micros. It is a micro that I use pollen from. Actually, I've been using this as the mother, but anyway, I use it in crosses for some of my micros because I like the size of it. As you can see, it's not too big. This is only 12 inches tall, which you can see 12 inches doesn't sound like a lot, but it's still a lot to handle. So you think I can grow a 24-inch tomato inside, and you can, but it may be tricky. I love the size of the fruits. They're nice and big, and it's very prolific, as you can see. So I wanted to taste one today. The last time I reviewed it, I did not own a refractometer. I've grown it a lot just because I use it for my crosses, but I thought, let's see how sweet it is. Now, I don't think it's the sweetest in the world. I don't think, even I'm breeding things that are sweeter than this in the micro world now. But look at the size of this on a 12-inch plant. Isn't that nice? I love how deep red they are. And so I don't think it's going to be like super like micro bricks fix is one of mine that has big bricks. But I'm going to guess, I haven't had these in a while. I'm going to guess 5 or 6. Let's see. Where's my thing? Just want to measure the size of these. I mean, you can get an idea from how it looks in my hand. It is 2 inches long. That's a nice sized tomato. When you grow this in the winter, when I've grown it in the winter in the past, which has been every year for a couple of years now, it really tastes like I'm so jonesing for a regular indeterminate. And this is a pretty good, because some micros just have zero flavor. Like, trust me, zero. They're not bad. They're just not good. They're zero flavor. And this one for me has always been good. Look at that. Kind of looks like Mazora inside. That's a beauty. Let me tell you a little bit about Tiny Totem. There's a lot of confusion when it comes to Tiny Totem. There is another variety that is a dwarf. I think it's an F1. Yes, it's a variety called Totem. That is not this tomato. This is specifically a micro mini. I would call it a micro at 12 inches. So it is, don't get it confused with Totem, which some sites sell, and that is a hybrid. This is not a hybrid. And there's no known origin on this. I've done extensive research, and other sites say we don't know where it came from either. Look how nice that is. All right, let's take a test. I've given out a lot of seeds to our tomato head friends for this. 6.3, I was right. That's not too shabby for a micro at all. All right, I was going to tell Keena, remind me to take an inside shot. Let's taste it now. Mm. Oh, it's got like a pucker to it. Sweet, a pucker. I always forget how darn good this tomato is. Have any of you grown it? I'm sure you have. I've given away a ton of seeds. Mm, that's got a really nice pucker to it and sweet. Very, very full bodied tomato for especially for a micro. But you can also, this is a 2-gallon grow bag, which I like to grow them in, so it gives it more room. But I've also grown it in a 1-gallon pot. It won't give you as many tomatoes. The plant will stay a little bit smaller too, but you can do in a 1-gallon pot. Mmm, this is so good. My original Tiny Totem is 2 years old. Yay for Tiny Totem. You guys may remember I had a Vilma that was like 2.5 years old. There's still time, Jamie. I should have picked Tiny Totem for my Micropalooza. Still time. I encourage you to do that because I feel like micros definitely are getting better as far as flavor, but the original ones, like so many people start off at that dreadful orange hat that Baker Creek sells or did sell, and that it looks cute, yucky flavor. And I reviewed a lot that first year or two of my micro project, and they just have no flavor. They look cute. They make good gifts, I guess. But now things like Paws Pride by Heidi Dolan has changed that. She's got some great flavor in her 2 micros that she's bred so far. I'm growing out one from her also called My Two Gingers, which she hasn't released yet. And a couple things I'm working on have some really good flavor too. I've got a striped one I'm working on with Bill Yoder. I've got, in fact, this Tiny Totem I mentioned that I do it in some of my crosses. Drop the Micro, which you may have heard me talk about before. Creamsicle Grape, that those all have, or not Creamsicle Grape, that's somebody else. Creamsicle Mini, my bad. I'm not trying to take anybody else's name. Trust me, I want my own. Those all have Tiny Totem in the cross. Kim, I grew it last winter. It definitely needed more light than I gave it. Mine wasn't 12 inches. So shorter than that? Or no, you're probably saying it got much taller because it needed more light. Is that right? Yeah. Wow, that was a treat tasting that. That was much better than I even remembered. Yes. Do you have green goo in that one you're tasting, Lauren? It looked like it when you held it up. Yes. Oh, I ate the other. Sorry, but yes, there was beautiful green goo in there. I'll have to give it a whirl. Yes, please do. I don't know. I think more and more vendors are selling it now. When I first got it a couple of years ago, I think I got it from HR Seeds, which is a vendor I don't use very often. But I've given seeds to many vendors also for these, and I think you can find them many places now. I'm sure Ken Fry from Forgotten Heirlooms must have it. I've got to imagine. So check him out. He's great. Ah, Heidi, I liked Orange Hat. You silly girl. Well, we all have different taste buds, so there you go. Do you do any of your tomatoes hydroponically or just in soil? Right now, they're all in soil. I've done some hydroponically, especially if I want them to grow a little bit faster for breeding purposes or whatever. Um, but I have a like a knockoff arrow garden. I actually have 2 of them. Small one I got for Riley that she wasn't interested in, so mom takes it over, and another one I got as a gift from a lovely member of our group. And so, yes, I've definitely done. I like putting my African blue basil in the hydroponic actually because I keep it going throughout the year, and then I take the suckers from it and keep it going so I can have them for next summer. And those do great in arrow gardens. Is that right, Sherva? Love Tiny Totem. Is the only micro I like. It's great. It checks all the boxes. Really, it's so compact. 12 inches. It's got, and look how many tomatoes are on this thing. You can see I've got 2 more ripe ones down here. and they're a great size. So I may start another one. No, I can't start another one. I've already got too many projects going on indoors. But I encourage you, if you haven't grown it, check out Tiny Totem. We rated it an 8 out of 10, by the way, and I would still stand by that. Definitely. All right, let's move on to another tomato. Our friend Jeffrey Rainmaker is here, owner of Secret Seed Cartel. And I was talking with him, I guess it was last week. After last week's show, I showed, what was the variety? Babby's Special? What was the variety? Bally's Special? Somebody please remind me. My mind is in other places in kitty cat world and my gardener world. What was it called? Babby's. Anyway, it was a variety that he carries. He was out of stock, but he's getting more in soon. And he and I were talking, and he said, I think he said, I got one of the last of that type for the moment. And he said, you'd be surprised at how many tomatoes are just like big. Thank you, Kim Wallace. Yes, Blabby Special or Blaby. Thank you, Kim. Yes. And he said, you'd be surprised at what are big sellers. And then he sent me this one, which I already had seeds for. I believe he's out of stock at the moment, but this is a variety called Special Forces or Spetsnaz. There's a lot. Special Forces is correct. What the Russian name is, I believe that's the correct Russian name, Spetsnaz. Bred by Vladimir Nikolaevich Dederko from Russia. And this is a big seller. I know Terry at Secret Seed Cartel had been selling it. Jeffrey says it's uber popular. It was a commercial variety created especially for cold regions, but is excellent grown in any zone. Has been officially recognized as an outstanding achievement in Russian breeding. The weight of tomatoes varies. We had some huge ones, while others were medium size. Deep scarlet red interior. I love the pleated form of this beefsteak. I was exceptionally surprised at how sweet it was. Beefy, meaty, and sweet. The perfect red tomato. We hope most shoppers realize this is not political at all. It's about tomatoes and seed preservation. That didn't even cross my mind. Indeterminate, regular leaf, mid to late season. Anybody grown this one? Yeah, you guys have a much better memory than me. That'd be special. Somebody asked a question. Oh gosh, blah, blah. You're killing me because I have a photo and I almost put it up. I wonder if I can grab it now. I have a photo of me making a sandwich out of Tiny Totem. Let me see if I can pull it up quickly. Hang on. And I almost put it up and I'm like, oh, that's silly. But it's not. Let's see. It's like it takes a lot of slices on the tomato or on the bread, but I've got it. Tomatoes. And when you're desperate, you're desperate. Here it is. Hang on. I'll probably kick myself out of the show again. Okay. Slide 12. Where'd it go? Oh. There it is. There's my Tiny Totem sandwich. When you were desperate, you're desperate. But it made a great sandwich. It just took a lot of slices. That looks so darn good, doesn't it? Yum. I'm glad you said that. I thought it was goofy, but it is not. It's real when the struggle is real when you need tomatoes. Becca says Special Forces looks great. Kim says haven't grown it yet, but bought seeds from Secret Seed Cartel. Chantel says camped out on Jeffrey's shop right now. He'll be getting a new order from me before the evening is over. He's a great guy, that's for sure. Right, Linda? It totally looks like yum. Look at the deep color. It's another thing you often don't get in micros or mini dwarfs, is that deep color. I don't do anemic looking tomatoes. All right. What did we just do? We just did special forces. Yes. Yes. Okay. Next one. I've been talking the last couple of weeks a lot about varieties from J&L Gardens. And I know many of you have checked out their site, maybe for the first time ever. Lee Goodwin is his name, the owner's name. He's also a breeder. And I've been definitely showcasing. A couple weeks ago, I did a new one of his SUCR X25, which is new this year. It's supposed to have like this crazy bricks. Was it like 15 or something like that? Um, and last week we talked about Ambrosia Rose UBX, which stands for ultra high bricks. Yeah, something like that. UBX is ultra high bricks. But so I've got another one to talk about of his. Actually, I've got two of his to talk about this week. I kind of forget about them sometimes, and I shouldn't, because they've got some incredible varieties and interesting ways of crossing, just like our friend Angway does. This one's called Matt's Black. It was bred by Lee Goodwin of J&L Gardens of the United States. Tatiana's Tomato Base says it was developed by J&L Gardens from a cross of a red currant tomato and a Russian black slicing tomato. It was first offered in J&L Gardens in 2014, and then it was reintroduced by J&L in 2024, so two years ago. They released it in 2014 as a trial variety. Matt's Black is a distinct tomato variety developed by J&L Gardens Seed in New Mexico. It is a result of a cross between a red currant tomato and a Russian black slicing tomato. Cocapelli, different vendor, says this hardy variety produces an abundance of small, oblong mahogany-colored fruits about 2 centimeters in diameter. It is the result of a cross between a currant tomato and a Russian black tomato. We know that already. So that's it. Has anybody grown Matt's Black? Oh, are we getting into how you make your tomato sandwich? It is. It's definitely an American thing, I guess. I wonder what butter would be like. I don't know that I would like butter. If it was a hot sandwich, like a grilled tomato, like grilled butter. And then there's a recipe. I think I've talked about this before, but Jess from Roots and Refuge, she put out a recipe a couple of years ago for like browned tomatoes, or brown butter tomatoes. That's what it is. You guys can Google it. And it's basically slicing your tomato. Oh, that would be good with Tiny Totem too. Brown butter, which is getting it to the point of not quite burning, but brown, which gives it like a nutty flavor. Pouring it over the tomatoes. She says it tastes like lobster. I agree. It's delicious. So in that way, I would like butter, or fake butter in my case, but on my tomatoes. But on the sandwich, I like the tanginess of mayo for sure. 102 in the live, hopefully subscribe. Yeah, look at that. We've got 102. Hey, everybody. If you're just joining in, and we've got more on Instagram too. Let's see on Instagram. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 more on Instagram. So that's fabulous. Make sure you type in hashtag tomato. Oh, now we're at 104. Hashtag tomato, and you can win. We're giving away from Inspired Garden Life 5 t-shirts for 5 lucky viewers, 3 $25 gift cards to Inspired Garden Life, and a beautiful advent calendar created and donated by Robin Moulton. So you only need to put it in once, hashtag tomato. Pretty says, I have seeds from Matt's Black, but haven't grown it yet. Keep checking their site every day for SUCR X25. When I spoke with him a couple of weeks ago, he said they were coming back imminently. So I don't know that he used that exact term, but they were going to be coming soon. So I know he will be getting more. How many more? I don't know. But yeah, it looks like a good one. I don't eat butter, so I can't bring myself to try that one yet. What about Miyoko's plant-based butter? You've had to have tried that, yes? It's to die for. It's cultured like real milk and everything. They just use, I think it's cashew milk, but stuff is amazing, amazing butter substitute. I don't like all the chemical-y things, but that one's really great. But I don't think I want it in a grilled tomato sandwich. I could do it, but I don't want it like as the spread. Matt's Black. Anybody? Anybody? All right, let's move on. Ah, we've been talking a lot about Japanese tomatoes. Well, I've been talking about a lot about Japanese tomatoes lately. You may have seen my post in the group last week that I last Friday, and I said I was going to do that on this show. I went on a pilgrimage. I didn't make it into New York City um, because I found a Japanese, like a mega market just outside of the city. And I figured, like, my tremors hadn't been doing so well and neurological stuff's kind of flaring a little bit. So I'm like, I better not go by myself. But I found this Japanese mega mart and I went in there. I'm not really sure why I was expecting to find like these connoisseur Japanese varieties, but like I would bet they come out at like the holiday time when people are, because they come in boxes and they're very expensive apparently. So things like Amila and Reika and all of that, you can find them. They're individually packaged in these boxes and 40, $50. I don't know how much yen that is, but so I didn't find anything at the Japanese Mega Mart. I did, however, I went to out there. There's a what do you call it? Whole Foods. My closest Whole Foods is like 40 minutes away, but I figured if I'm out here, let's see if there's a Whole Foods. And I found a Japanese variety called Hyros, Hiiros, and it's not unique to Whole Foods. My turned out my local Target has it, and I know Pretty had said she found it at her Trader Joe's. So it comes in a little package. They're like on the vine, which doesn't usually appeal to me because I know that's a myth on the vine thing. But boy, were they good! Definitely hybrid. So I saved seeds. In fact, a vendor has already asked me to save seeds for her and send them to her. But they are most definitely F1 hybrid. So what you get in the F2 grow out, I do not know. And that's the case with a lot of these Japanese varieties. Mizora has been grown by my friend for several generations. So if it started as a hybrid, it doesn't seem to be one anymore. But anyway, that brings us to this Japanese one, which is not part, from what I understand, it's not part of the whole tomato fruit thing going on in Japan. They're breeding things. I talked about this last week. They're breeding things to withstand their climate over in Japan and be really disease resistant, and also have uber high brick scores, which is what Missouri and Amila both were. This is not a tomato fruit one, but it's apparently very, very good. It's called Aichi first. Aichi, perhaps. They do take their fruit seriously. They do, and I'm late to the party on this, I think, but I'm hoping to get all of you guys on the train too. Anybody grown this? These photos came, so the photo on the right, the interior came from Tomato Revolution from the UK. They are selling it. Did I say left? The one on the right. And then the one on the left showing the point, that's the best picture I could find. That's actually from an Amazon listing in Japan, which of course you can't get those here, but they had a nice, I've seen several pictures. That was nice to just show the shape of the fruit. So let's find out about it. It's a mid-season, regular leaf, pink indeterminate. Fruits are large, between 1 to 2 pounds or 450 grams to, I guess, 900 grams. This Japanese heirloom traces its roots back to 1938 in Toyohashi, Aichi Prefecture, brought to Japan during the Meiji era between 1868 and 1912, and was selected over years to produce a wonderful, large, balanced, blunt, heart-shaped tomato, vigorous plant that produces up to 30 pounds of fruit per season. And then Jardins de Tomates also carries it. They say mid-season, pink, large fruits, weighing 500 grams, has been selectively bred over the years to produce a wonderfully large, well-balanced tomato. They all kind of share verbiage, don't they? Harmonious balance of sweetness and acidity with rich and complex notes. Has anybody grown this? I'm dying to find out. I have seeds, have not grown this one. Not sure if I will this year or not. I think it depends on if any of you have. It does look like a Hershey Kiss. You're right. You're absolutely right. It's really cute, isn't it? Reminds me of a lot of Sophia Sakova varieties with that little point. In fact, a lot of the newer breeders are developing things with that blunt heart look with the point on there. Yes, Baker Creek has it as one of their new releases. Thanks, Gina. You are correct. Toast with butter melting on it, tomato, salt, and pepper. So is the butter on the outside of it or on the inside? Hmm. I could see, like, I made homemade sourdough. I could see like a toasted piece of that, spread of butter, and then putting some really good tomato on there, some tiny totem on there. That I can see. But if it's like cold butter that's just spread, I don't find that has much flavor for me that mayo does. But look, I'll try tomatoes here and there. I'll try them everywhere. Kim, I grew this my first year. Unfortunately, I don't remember much about it. All right, not sure if that's a good thing or not. I've been reading very good things. So if anybody has any intel on this, I would appreciate it. I'm sure we would all appreciate it. All right, next one. This one I grew 2 years ago. It's called Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan. Um, and these seeds were given to me by my friend Liz from the UK. A few places sell it now. The one I was trying to remember because I hate showing stuff that you guys can't get, and I know it happens a lot. But in the back of my mind, I knew of a vendor that had it, and I couldn't remember. But then I remembered today. It's Cariarte seeds, and I'm going to put the link to seeing the Kyrgyzstan tomato. Or, of course, you can put it in Seed Seeking Saturday or Your Most Wanted. But I was shocked when I hadn't talked about it here on the show yet over the last couple of years. All right, I just put the link to this on Cariarte in the comments. So it has a Brix of 4. Overall, we gave it a 7 out of 10. And I have a full detailed review from last year on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I put very detailed reviews on there. You can follow me at Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. I just put up a couple days ago, I put up a detailed review for Elves of the Puzzlewood Forest, which is getting a lot of traction. I meant to get one done yesterday, but with our sweet little Rorzy, I'm just spending as much time with her as possible, except for right now. But she's going up and down stairs, so I think she's okay. I wrote in our review, being a lover of green when ripe tomatoes, I was super anxious to try this rare one from Asia called Kyrgyzstan. Turns amber when ripe. I'm just saying some of the important things, with a bit of the darker green still being on the shoulders. I share how to tell when a green, when ripe, is ripe enough. I said delightfully fruity and refreshing. It doesn't have the intense, loud flavor that I gravitate towards. That's to say the least. But it is a good tomato with mild sweetness and tang. As you can see from the pic, there are lots of seeds and goo, which makes me very happy. For me, this would be a good sandwich tomato rather than one to slice up and eat as a snack. For those who like fresh and fruity and are turned off by intense flavor, you will love Kyrgyzstan. So I did really like it. It was also very productive. I didn't put down the leaf. It definitely was a regular leaf. There isn't a whole lot out there about this variety. Maybe after this year, maybe more people are growing it, but Cariarte is one of the only places I've seen. There's one other place where I got some information from. What am I doing? Where's the comments? Anybody grow this year or in the past? Evelina, you here? Yes. Brown butter on tomatoes is heavenly. It is. It sounded so strange when she put out that review, but it's good. It is good. Deborah, I have Kyrgyzstan, but have not grown it yet. Yeah, I mean, I think it was just last week I was sharing about this was the year of the greens for me. I always grow a lot of greens, trying to top Malachite box, which has been our favorite green up until this year. And so, but I'm always looking for new ones. And this was the year of 3 other really good greens. The top one being Malapine, which I can't shut up about. Verde de las Landas was also great, as was Green Rhapsody, and I shared that last week. That's I think we rated it an 8, 8.5, something like that. So I wouldn't, if there are things, if you're looking for a great green when ripe, unless you're looking for something really rare, I don't know that you need to grow Kyrgyzstan unless you like mild, because one of the reasons why I love green when ripes is because they often have very loud flavor. This one didn't, but if you're looking to grow a green and has good flavor and fruity, but not really intense and tangy, this would be a good one to grow. And like I said, it's very rare. So if you want to, grow something rare, that's part of the reason why I grew it. But I'm always looking for a great green. Guess nobody's grown it. All right. What's next? I just got this. I think I put in Seed Seeking Saturday. And Kim, as a matter of fact, granted it to me, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you, Kim. I think it was you. Queen of the Early translates loosely to early queen, or in French, Reine des Hâtives, maybe. Um, oh, Deborah, yay. You'll probably be the second person to ever talk about growing it since you're in Australia. Um, really can't find anything on that thing. One Russian site. I'm anxious. I hope I'm not building up, your hopes too much, but I don't think so. I think you're going to love it. So anyway, Queen of the Early. I forget why I had this on my tomato wish list. It looked and sounded good. It's got a good story. So it's probably that. This information is from tomatenjunkie.de. This is known in its native, Reine des Hâtives, as it is known in its native language in French. Historic tomato from France, first offered in the Vilmorin catalog of Paris in 1893. It was likely known in Germany as the Queen of Early Tomatoes for a similarly long time, appearing in the catalogs of F.C. Heinemann of Erfurt in 1897 and Wilhelm Fisker of Stuttgart in 1898. Reine des Hâtives is one of those old varieties that were highly praised in its time and was even presented at the 1900 World's Fair in Paris as the oldest and most productive of all tomatoes. After being phased out during variety purification in 1937, it fell into oblivion. Now the Queen of Early Tomatoes is hardly known and threatened with extinction. Bingo! That's why I had it on my wish list. Somehow came across it, read that, and I'm like, must save the tomatoes. I must save the tomatoes. Hardly known, threatened with extinction. Therefore, like many old forgotten varieties, it is on the red list of endangered native cultivated plants. Reason enough, I thought, to cultivate this once much praised tomato again and perhaps make a small contribution to preserving this bountiful old variety. Doesn't that feel good when you do that, when you're growing something, if you've grown something like so rare that isn't out there much, and then you save seeds with people? It just feels so good, like it's going to be out there now. I love that. All right, variety description: relatively early to ripen, indeterminate, produces small red beefsteak tomatoes with a classic fruity, sweet tart flavor. Plants have normal light dark green foliage, and in my experience with multiple stems, never exceed 130 centimeters in height. Each robust truss typically bears 5 to 7 fruits. From pollination to harvest, this mid-early variety takes approximately 60 days. It's pretty quick. They're about, on average, 5 to 8 centimeters in size and weigh between 80 to 150 grams. Fruits vary somewhat in shape and size, but are mostly flattened and round, with more or less faint and irregular ribs starting from the stem end. They have a characteristic yellow collar, which, however, often disappears completely. When cut open, the flesh is juicy, with several seed chambers. A soft yet fairly crack-resistant skin makes them well suited for growing outdoors. The flavor is aromatic, fruity, and well-balanced between sweet and sour. So all of that came from the site Tomaten. Did they? Yes, tomatenjunkie.de. Anybody grown this one? Here's Evelina. An absolutely wonderful variety. Firm, sweet, and almost without acid, giving a mild and pleasant taste. Thank you, Evelina. Appreciate that. Totally appreciate that. All right. Next. Another one from J and L. And I've had these seeds forever, and I just logged them this week, and I'm like, why have I only just logged them? I have, look at all these. And I just got 3 more from a very kind member. You know who you are. She just sent me 3 more just as a, she put in an envelope for me. These I already had, not logged. And then these I just got in. I placed another order with them. That's where the Ambrosia Rose UBX is. Ambrosia Flame, Jans. Anyway, they often release limited edition stuff that you often don't see again. One of them is turtle grape. Has anybody grown turtle grape? I have the seeds. I should just reach out to Lee, honestly, and get photos and description from him. But I don't think you can find it listed any longer. But if anybody's grown it, let me know. I may as well just write Lee too. But if you've grown it, I would love to hear it because it sounds great. Garden olive. I think this may have, yes, it has turtle grape in it. Lee from J&L Garden says, I've been working on this one for a number of years with repeated crosses back to wild tomatoes. It is a sister to the turtle grape I released last season. Anyway, this is darkest tomato inside and out that I have seen. The flavor is very spicy and complex. Production is very good on 5 to 6 foot plants, 65 to 70 days to ripe fruit. And then a place called NR Tomato Seed says appearance, it's a delicious dark rust colored grape tomato. The fruit is the darkest tomato inside out that Lee Goodwin has created. Fruits have thick outer walls and weigh 40 to 60 grams. Internally, they are a delicious bicolor of deep red and green. The flavor is quite sublime and quite frankly, one of the best tomatoes I've tasted. This comes from NR Tomato Seed. And they do sell, I believe they're from the UK, if I'm not mistaken. Quite sublime, best tomatoes I've ever tasted. Garden olive has a very rich tomato flavor and is exceptionally sweet. It is an indeterminate, will continue to grow and produce fruit throughout the season until frost. Vigorous sprawling plants that can exceed 2 meter heights if you let them. Production is heavy. So that's it. Anybody grown this one? Ooh, garden olive, I know. Loving the colors of garden olive. I do too. Let me expand this so you guys can, and this just the outside and the inside colors. That looks heavenly, does it not? Nobody's grown turtle grape? Maybe I'll feature it on my show next week. I'll reach out to Lee and I'll get back to you guys. Brandy, I'm growing garden olive next year too. I'm definitely growing this one next year, no question. Linda says it's very pretty. Hey, Keena. Tuning in to say hi, Lauren. Hi, everyone. Missed the show so far, but we'll catch up tomorrow. Wasn't I going to keep it short today? Yes, I was. Have a good night, my friend. Sleep tight. Feel good. Oh, Pretty grew it. Garden olive was very pretty and delicious. Grew it this year. Good to know. Jamie says that garden olive sounds lovely. I think, Heidi, what she's talking about is watching this show back tomorrow. Pretty sure she knows we canceled tomorrow's show, but maybe not. I have the seeds, resilient on repeat. I have the seeds obtained from, and I believe the lovely Gala. Can't wait to try them. Ah, yep, that was right. Charlie, I know those colors of garden olive is so wow. I agree. Where has it been all my life? I think it's a newer one too. Not to this year, but maybe last year. All right. Next one. This is one from Angwei that he was talking about in our group. Just the other day, somebody was asking, I forget what the question was, but somebody was asking about, somebody put a post, other than Sun Gold hybrid, what is your favorite cherry tomato? I think it was that post. And I was sharing how much I love Coyote, which is a wild tomato. It's got very thin skin, very opaque thin skin. And for me, now Jen hates it. Our taste is subjective, but I feel like it's a flavor explosion. I know Kim Lund loves it also. And so I love things that with lots of seeds and goo, thin skin. They don't always have the best shelf life, but they don't usually make it inside the house anyway. So Angwei said, yellow bird, I'm going to send you seeds for yellow bird. It's also thin skin. The size is around the size of a sun gold. And it's got a neat story, as all of Angwei's varieties. If you tuned in late, gosh, we've got 97 live viewers. Hey, everybody. Angwei sent me these beautiful wampum earrings made out of quail shell. Very, very kind. Um, and for those of you that may not have watched the last month and a half or so, Angwei ES is same person you may know as Phil Seneca from Good Mind Seeds, who kind of left the tomato world for quite a while. And we're happy to have him back because he's responsible for some incredible varieties. And I was able to grow many of them this season in some of his crosses. And it truly was an honor. It was an honor. And it's also been nice to be able to give those seeds out and get them into circulation. But anyway, let's get back to Yellowbird. He's always, if you look on Good Mind Seeds, he's always got a great story attached to his cultivars. He told me this morning it's half wild from Mexico and half grungy in the sky, which is another variety. Obviously, for late blight resistance. I know the wild sample got pH 2, and judging by the disease res on Yellowbird, I think it had got the recessive pH 3 purebred from Grungy in the Sky bicolor. It's prolific. It really produces into the frost, one of the first to ripen and last to go. My mother got tired of picking them. There were so many on her plant. It's named after my nephew, whose name translates to English as Yellowbird. And then on the Good Mind Seeds site, which is not active, but it's still a great resource for many of his varieties. It's resistant to septoria, early blight, late blight, and verticillium. They can be in a field of other tomatoes, all dying of late blight, get infected themselves, and continue growing as though there is no disease present. The bright yellow cherries are borne in trusses of 3 to 7 over sprawling indeterminate vines that can extend longer than 8 feet if given the season length. If you are into wild species tomatoes, I am. Yellowbird would make a good addition, as well as those who are looking for low maintenance types. Sounds really similar to Coyote Angwei, although these are bigger. Coyote's not a currant, but it's not as big as Sun Gold either. It's sort of in between. Flavor is strong and tart with bold, fruity overtones that exceed the expectations of most yellow tomatoes, being better than most red cherries. Sign me up. Sign me up. I'm growing it for sure. I haven't grown Everglades. I think from the pictures I've seen, it looks pretty similar. It's definitely not a small, like a currant or a spoon tomato or anything like that. Probably like this big. They definitely grow wild, like a wild tomato. You can put them in, like, no joke, like a 5-gallon bucket, even smaller. I mean, it's like a weed, but it grows. The tastiest little fruits on there. But taste is subjective. Like I said, Jen can't stand it. So I guess it's either love or hate type thing. Ooh, I grew turtle grape this year, large olive shaped grape flavor. Excellent. Excellent. I have the seed packet with the picture and everything on it, but once he doesn't carry things anymore, he doesn't keep them on there. If you have a picture of it and you could private message it to me at some point, I would love to see it. Thank you. Okay, so that's Yellowbird. Look for it soon. Angwei is intending at some point in selling his varieties. I know many of you have been asking. While I have some to share, there's others that he will eventually be selling. I don't want to give away too much of the information. That's not mine to tell. It's up to him. But rest assured, he's back and he's looking forward to sharing his varieties with all of us, which is fantastic. Just fantastic. Okay. Next one. It's another Japanese variety. Odorico F1 hybrid. Looks like a lot of the other ones. Mizora, Amila, a lot of these. This one is a fruit tomato type from Japan. I just ordered seeds from a place on Etsy called Mommy and Me Gardens. I have to be honest, I wasn't thrilled with the packaging. It came in in envelopes with no label on them. I ordered 2 packages, both no label on them whatsoever. Came with a packing list, so I knew what it was, but how do you sell seeds without a label on it? I don't know. But anyway, I wanted seeds for it, so I got it. The strong plant produces a good harvest of large Japanese type pink flesh tomatoes. Exceptional flavor and blemish free fruits make it a great choice for the home garden and gourmet market. And then I found a blog called whatamiEating.com, and they said an indeterminate variety of tomato with pink, medium large round fruit. The vigorous plants are quite disease resistant and productive. I And then there's a message board from some breeders at Cornell University. A user from Illinois says her her words, it's a her, in quotes, it's perfect, truly perfect. This is one of my 2 favorite tomatoes and one I come back to over and over. It's easy to grow, it's prolific, the fruit is perfectly sized and blemish free, and mostly it tastes delicious. Very complex tomato taste with a great acid sweetness profile. It may lean to slightly sweet, as I think my taste buds prefer that to very acidic, but it seems exceptionally well balanced. I've never had pests or problems with it. And then Mommy and Me Gardens on Etsy says one of the more flavorful tomatoes comparable to Caspian pink in taste. I guess they like Caspian pink. So that's Odorico's. Anybody grown this one before? Yeah, you're not thrilled either. I'm pretty sure I've ordered from them before and it was the same thing. And I don't know that the seeds look all that great either. I mean, sometimes hybrid seeds don't. They're definitely not light, fresh, and fluffy like open pollinated seeds are because they're, generated by machine. But that doesn't mean they're bad tomatoes at all. There's some great hybrids out there. And this sounds like it's one of them, Odorico F1. But yeah, how do you have fruit has packages without looks like we just ended on Instagram. Trying to cut me short today. I think the gods are saying, Lauren, you said you were going to do a short show. So how many more do I have? Oh, just one more after this. I can do it. Anybody grown Odorico? Heidi said, last thing I ordered from them never germinated and they never got back to me, so I refuse to buy anything from them anymore. That's interesting. I think they were the only vendor I found this Odorico at, so I'll take my chance. Maybe I'll try germination test and see what happens. I'll tell you they don't look great. Oh, you're welcome, Angwei. I wouldn't give away your info. I deeply respect you. You know that. Not mine to tell. It's all up to you, but it is exciting. All right. If you're joining late, please type in hashtag tomato. We'll be ending. I just have one more variety to talk about. And then we will give away, Inspire Garden Life is giving away 5 free t-shirts, 3 $25 gift cards, and Robin Moulton created a one-of-a-kind advent calendar with 25 varieties of 5 seeds each. Quite adorable. I'll show you the picture again in a minute. Oh no, I ordered some seeds from Mommy and Me Gardens will be coming in tomorrow. Sometimes you have no choice if they've got a variety, but I'll tell you what my experience was as far as getting the order in. In fact, I was on a video call with Samantha, and I'm like, look at this. There's no label or anything. It was very strange. It looked like it had been around a while, so we shall see. Last one. This is one I grew last year called Aljanuska, if that's the pronunciation or not. I'm finding conflicting information. One source says it's from Ukraine. Another source says it's a Russian amateur breeder. So I trusted the one Ukraine better. Usually when I'm not sure, I leave it off. I probably should have. I don't think this variety is stable because Tomato Eden sells it, and theirs looks quite different. Now, I grew this in 2024 growing season. Excuse me. And mine look very different. And I don't think I got my seeds from Tomato Eden either. I think it may have been from my friend in Poland, as a matter of fact. That being said, it was a good tomato. We rated it a 7 out of 10. The Brix was a 4.5. I talk about in my review on Instagram, I talk about it not being quite stable. I say different vendors in Russia and Latvia are selling versions of this that range from this golden pink beauty that I have to solid deep pink versions to a chocolate version to a light yellow striped version and even a GWR tricolor. So since we don't really know information, I can only talk about what I got when I grew it last year. And it's awfully pretty. It was very tasty. Um, and then I wrote, so I'm guessing this fantastic variety was released and it is splitting off into different variants. That's okay. I actually enjoy different variants and enjoy the mystery of things that aren't yet stable. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes. Oh, yes, this amateur selection came to me through a friend in Poland who grew it and raved about it after growing it in 2023. Because I didn't read this before I came to air. 6-foot plants or 1.8 meters were loaded with these majestic, large bicolor fruits all season long. Very sweet, juicy, a gift for the taste buds. They average about 1 pound or 450 grams each, which made them a terrific sandwich tomato for those who like fruity and sweet sandwich varieties, like Mr. Tomato Head does. He does. You will love Aljanuska. So as far as seeds, again, Tomato Eden carries it. I don't think many other people are carrying it still. But just know that you may not get this unless you put in Seed Seeking Saturday or whatever, and then I can certainly share seeds. But purchasing it, you may not get the same thing. You may not get the same look, but maybe you get whatever the cross was. It's the same cross. So sometimes you may get a similar flavor, and sometimes you don't get similar flavor at all. So there you go. It is a very beautiful interior. Very good. Deborah, did I give you the seeds for this one? You're growing this one too? I haven't seen it around a lot, but maybe you got it from Tomato Eden. Sri Devi says, I have ordered many times and so far germination has been good. That's good. I think I am going to do a germination test because I would like to give some seeds away as prizes. That's why I ordered 2 packages. Not today, but another day. But I'm not going to do it with seeds I know aren't going to germinate. Resilient on Repeat says, on Etsy, my fave vendors are Val's Backyard for sure. Meat for Seed, I haven't done that one. One more whose name eludes me at present. Woodland Creations is great. Carolina's Paradise is great. Woodland Creations, I really, really love them. And Lydia from Carolina's Paradise has a lot of the varieties from like Russia, Ukraine, Poland that you can't find elsewhere. Yeah, I'll have to check out Need for Seed. I don't think I've ordered from them. I don't do a whole lot on Etsy, not for any reason other than actually I haven't been ordering much at all lately because I'm just getting so many from you guys and breeder friends and all of that. But I definitely order a lot from Woodland Creations, or I did in the past. I haven't recently. So, okay, we're at 98 viewers. Make sure now's your last opportunity to get in hashtag tomato. Aljanuska sounds like a meat tomato. Good to hear. It's really good. I can't believe I hadn't talked about it yet. Got it from Tomato Eden. Yeah, hers shows it's like a green red striped. It looks beautiful. It looks like my kind of tomato. No, it's not a new like F1 variety. I was given seeds assuming they were stable. My fruit came out. So it's done by an amateur breeder that I know. But it is not like a hybrid. I mean, it's kind of confusing. All tomatoes start out off as a hybrid. There's a mother and a father. And so they're a hybrid that way. But is it meant to be a hybrid? No. Once you create the hybrid, then continue choosing for the qualities in a tomato that they like, culling the rest, getting rid of the rest, and just continuing through the F7, F8 often generation until they're stable. She or he may have likely released this early, so you'll be getting a lot of variation. But it's not like the Odo Rico Japanese variety, which is meant to be a hybrid and is a hybrid, if that makes any sense. I don't think I ever get better at describing this. I know in my head what I'm trying to say. I've got some techniques when testing for germination: soil or paper towel and baggie. Yes and yes. Right now, I'm growing one of Ongwei's long lost varieties that I know many of us have been looking for, called Prince Charming's Bastard. The seeds are from 2011? No, 2014. So they're older, and sometimes you get germination problems. So I did a couple different things. I put a couple in water. I put a couple directly in soil and used a biostimulant to water. And then I did a couple and I soaked in potassium nitrate or saltpeter for 24 hours and then put it in soil. I'll tell you, they came up. Those were like champs. So, but I do have some different methods to get old seeds to germinate, and these I did not have a problem with. And I've done the paper towel and baggie too. That's, if you guys remember, if you've been around a while, I kind of rebrought B times Macbeth back to the tomato world. That was a long lost micro mini from Tom Wagner. Even he didn't have seeds. And an old vendor who got out of the business had sent me seeds, and he said those seeds were 10 years old. And boy, I had a heck of a time. But after 6 weeks, I finally got one to germinate in the paper towel in a baggie on a heat mat trick. And then I eventually did get one in hydroponic to germinate also. And then that one gave out so many suckers. I just kept, taking cuttings, making more plants because I wanted to save as many seeds as possible. And now it's not hard to find them at all, which is really super cool. But yes, there's tricks of the trade. So I'll have to see how many of them I have to do. Oh, is Missy here? I skipped over Missy. Oh, hey, Missy. Surgery went well. Now in recovery room, watching with my nurses. Hey, Missy, we love you. Sending prayers your way, my friend. I'm so glad you finally got the surgery. You've been tortured over this for a very long time. I'm so glad you came in. I love you, Missy. Praying for you. Chantel says, I really like Woodland Creations too. They have great varieties. And they're very nice people, I have to say. Very nice people. Okay. So for everybody typing in hashtag tomato, if you're new to the episode, I'm not going to get back into all the drama or anything like that, but I do have an important message for those in the tomato world that you may want to watch back the first part of the episode. I don't want to get back into it. I've said my piece, I'm done. But if you're interested about a vendor who is not practicing good seed stewardship in the tomato world, you may want to check out the early part of my episode. You may have seen it from other tomato people too, but you can hear my 2 cents anyway. You won't find it in Tomato Lovers Collective. We won't be talking about it in there. Oh, Missy, you grew Aljanuska. Good. Did yours come out a bicolor like this? I think I gave you seeds, right? Did you grow out the Magician bicolor I gave you? Didn't I give you those too? I think you were dying for that one. Yeah. So glad to see you here. Glad surgery went well. Sending you prayers for speedy recovery, my friend. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, I missed a whole bunch of comments. Glad to hear your surgery went well, Missy. A true tomato head watching the live from your recovery room. That is true tomato head for sure. I just dump everything in soil and spritz. It says Heidi. That's what I do for normal tomatoes. And I did one of that with Prince Charming's Bastard also. The good news is that a couple of us are growing Prince Charming's Bastard, so seeds will hopefully be available at some point. So those of us who've been looking for it for a while can grow it. It's a white dwarf and looks phenomenal. In fact, Angwei shared in the group this week the story behind the name because Linda had asked him, which is really cool. And then he talked about lime and the coconut too, which is another one of his with a very cool name. All right. Happy surgery went well. Prayers for a swift recovery. For sure. We all love you, Missy. Glad to hear it all went well. Heidi says yelling at them helps. I just yell at them until that come up. Yeah, that doesn't typically work for me. Okay, type in hashtag tomato and you can win this beautiful exclusive advent calendar created and donated by Robin Moulton. And then because the first Thursday of the month is sponsored, the show is sponsored by Inspired Garden Life. And again, I don't normally like to mix other prizes with Inspired Garden Life, but this one was supposed to be on Tomato Talk Live tomorrow night. If you missed the early part of the episode, Jen and I have to cancel tomorrow night. You can watch the early part of the episode back to find out why, if you'd like. And so there's a link also in Tomato Lovers Collective to join the design community. They're going to keep the opportunities open to be, you can get a free t-shirt and put your 2 cents in some of their t-shirts and the feel and all of that stuff. There's a link in in Tomato Lovers Collective. I think I pinned it to the top of the page as well, where you can link or click the link to sign up. I'm just going to put it here in the comments again for those that may be late. And or Sunday at midnight. So if they, depending on if they max out on how many they can take, or Sunday at midnight, it will be over. So there right now in the comments is the link, but you can also find it in Tomato Lovers Collective. And we just love Inspired Garden Life. Don't forget that TLC 20 gets you 20% off of everything. They also have their fall harvest savings. Buy 2, get 5% off. Buy 4, get 10. Buy 6, get 15. But the best deal is, of course, TLC 20, which gives you 20% off of everything. And here we go. Yes, they're giving away 5 free t-shirts, 3 $25 gift card giveaways. So let's do theirs first. And if you wouldn't mind, for those of you that win from them, if you could please contact them directly by emailing them, and I'll keep this scrolling at the bottom. This is to claim your shirt or your gift cards. support@inspiredgardenlife.com. All right, let's give some away. This is last week. Mariah Levin. Congratulations, Mariah, and your cute little kitty. If you can, if you see the email down at the bottom, support at Inspired Garden Life, you can check them out and you get a free t-shirt. Congratulations. Next one. Leunra, Leunra. Congratulations. Free t-shirts on your way. Well, not on your way until you pick it out. So make sure you type in that support at Inspired Garden Life. Leunra. All right, next one. Well, that was weird. Wait, what's happening? Oh no, not this again. Let's try this again. Remember when I first started using this platform and that was doing that every time? All right, we've got a winner. Lori OB, Nebraska, congratulations. You can please email them at support@Inspired Garden Life and pick out your t-shirt. Next one. Oh, Eric Mooney. Congratulations, Eric. Thought I was going to land on you, Missy. By the way, for any that were watching last week, there's a book that was given away, and Heidi Jory's won one of them, but she said she already had it, so I put it back in to give the opportunity to another winner. I did end up, I gave Heidi a prize too. I don't want you to think that she was being kind and she didn't get anything. She did. So Eric Mooney, congratulations. You can email them at support@Inspired Garden Life. And the final t-shirt goes to we've had a popular episode today. Deb, congratulations, Deb. You need another t-shirt, right? So there's our 5. And now they're giving away, I mean, I just can't, their generosity is just unreal. How they make money, I have no idea. But thank you, Tim and Darylyn, so much for your friendship, your generosity. I feel very proud to wear your creations and talk about you. It's such a wonderful situation where we connected and now we're all like one big happy family. I love it. All right, so three $25 gift cards to Inspire Garden Life. And to check them out, then you can go to inspiredgardenlife.com. Great website. And they have an entire series from Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. Spy, I spy. Congratulations, Spy, I spy. You get one gift card and you can, I think the address is the same, support and Inspire Garden Life, but let me just check. Yes, gift card, same email address. Next one. Missy, I'm so happy you're here with us. Look at that. Missy, that's amazing. Not only that it's day of your surgery and you happen to win, but that I just said, so happy you're here with us. Missy, you win $25 gift card, Missy. So at least you deserve a lot more than that, but that's a great, great thing. You can get yourself a new t-shirt. And our last $25 gift card to Inspire Garden Life. I'm so happy for you. I hope the nurses are cheering you on. Missy won. Christy Wallace Quinn. Congratulations, Christy. Okay. And then we have the advent calendar. So beautifully put together by, no, not there, by Robin Moulton. Thank you, Robin. And for the other ones you put in Pepper Lovers Collective and Gardening Lovers Collect. I can't remember the name of my own group. So this is her advent calendar. It's got 25 varieties, 5 seeds each of things she grew. And thank you so much for this. You can private message her directly for this one if you're in the group. If not, you can email me or private message me. I'll put my email address at the bottom, but it's Robin Moulton, Moulton, if you can reach out to her directly. So let's see who's going to win this one. Who wants a new advent calendar or another advent calendar? She gave away her beautiful ones that she puts together. Jeffrey Rainmaker is selling them. Meraki Seeds is selling them. You may have more than one. Kim Pierce, congratulations, Kim. Oh, this is nice. I'm so happy, Missy, you won a prize. Congratulations, everybody. So thank you. This was not a short episode, 2 hours, no matter what I do. But thank you for being here for me today and giving me some joy on this really rough week for us. It may get worse even next week, but for today, I've got a smile on my face and I really love you all. Again, if you missed the first part of the episode, you may want to watch back or watch the early part. Just there's some important information that you may want to see, you may not want to see, but it's important, I think. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I will see you next Thursday. Yes, congratulations to all. Missy, feel better? You're so welcome. Have a good weekend, everybody. Prayers for Rory. Thank you. I appreciate that. Just don't want our little girl to suffer. Mary says, give Rory a cuddle for me. I'm going up to do that right now. Leaving her for 2 hours. I feel like she doesn't want to cuddle as much anymore either, which is not like her at all. So you kind of know she knows something. It's heartbreaking. Thank you, everybody, for your prayers for you, Missy, and congratulations to all the winners. And I will see you all next week. Peace, love. Oh, and you want to watch the early review for Tiny Totem too. Excellent. I reviewed it before, but I forgot how good it was. So anyway, peace, love, get your gratitude on and go grow tomatoes. Bye, everybody.